Welcome to the Copper King Mine and Railroad. Today we're going to talk about side dump waste cars here on the Copper King Mine and at Bingham Canyon. So stay tuned.
So let's talk about the side dump cars on the Copper King Mine. Now they're on my two point-to-point operations going into the levels. You see this one right here, this is the middle point-to-point. I only have 6 cars. At Bingham Canyon Mine, 1961, they had 258 40 cubic yard side dump cars, so they had a lot. Of course, that's because the stripping ratio was 3-to-1, so they needed to take a lot more waste material, overburden out of the mine than ore. Now, I say the number 1961 because in 1963, they started to use trucks, big haulage trucks in the top portion of the mine. So they stopped a lot of the waste hauling by trains. On these 2 point-to-points, I have automatic reversing switches on both of them. So they just continually run. Now, you can add one more thing to it. You can add a delay timer for it and just set the time that will stop there for a minute. But I like the continuous motion on it, so I just like to see them keep running. Now here's the top point-to-point pulling up. This is a little steeper grade up here, so he's hauling 3 empties up. This is on the top level of the mine. I have 4 continue running trains at all time on the layouts, the 2 continuous loops and then the 2 point-to-points. I just like the constant motion. Wasn't it Walt Disney's secret was movement was his secret, those tiny flickering images he had. Anyway, so this is the top level of the mine. You see it way up here. Now this is the reversing switches. This is where I have them in my cabinet. I'll show you the boxes. Here's the boxes they came in. So if you you just get them at Walter's or your local hobby shop might have them. Anyway, that's the automatic reversing switches, and they're really easy to wire. It's a simple wiring. And they have run for 11 years with no problems. Now this is over by the mill area. This is the waste train running over here, and this represents an old dump area. They don't use this dump area anymore. It was just encroaching on the mill area, so they stopped using this. And you see it right here, how close it is to the buildings and stuff. So this is the new dump area on the Copper King Mine. So there's a lot of room for expansion over here. And let's take a closer look at these dump cars. Now I've got some really nice pictures of the real thing at Bingham Canyon they were using. We'll talk about that here in a second. But these are the dump cars on the Copper King Mine Railroad. So let's go over and talk about the real thing at Bingham Canyon. So let's talk about the waste cars at Bingham Canyon. When open cut mining started back in 1906, they had to first remove all the capping material to reach the ore body. Over time, that stripping ratio has changed. For a long time, it was 3-to-1, meaning 3 tons of waste material or overburden had to be removed to access the 1 ton of ore. So look at some of these pictures of these waste cars. And you see in the beginning they made them out of wood. Boy, I bet that didn't last very long. Look at the size of the material they're loading. Look at those rocks. And they used these little Porter steam engines at the beginning. Remember, I had a video on that one. You can go back and look at the trains on that. And anyway, They used these little wood ones, and they didn't haul very much material, it looks like. Here's some single pictures of it. You can see how little they are. Then they went to these little bit bigger ones, the little metal ones. And so they must have got the job done. This picture right here was taken in 1910. So there's some neat pictures of them dumping right there. Then over time they got bigger, and they went to a 30 to 40 cubic yard waste car. And here they are dumping in the dump, and then here's a string of them coming up, some empties. Now they didn't make these trains up very long. They only made them about 7 to 8 car long. Here's one out in the dump. This picture was taken in 1973. Here's another one. There's a brakeman standing on the end. They rode these trains out to the dumps. Here's a couple of pictures of the shovels loading them in the pit. Now look at this picture. This is they're dumping, and they got this track shifter pushed right to the end of the line there. We talked about the track shifters too in the track gang video. Look at this one right here. This waste car. It's all beat up. And then these pictures of here's some waste cars right here. These are from the Larry Sax collection again. I'll put a link in the description below on where you can find some of these pictures. There's some grand looking pictures of these waste cars, and they dumped by using air pressure, and you see these big old air cylinders here. So some great looking pictures of these waste cars. And here's a picture of them down at the car shop here, B&G yard. Then here's some more just sitting here at the siding. So that's the waste cars at Bingham Canyon.